So the story begins in 2010. We are introduced to Nam Jun and his brother. Namji Jun had brought his brother to the city to get a job at Lee Jan's company. But when they arrived, Lee Jan and his company were attacked by their rival group, the Bansan group. Several members of the group had already been killed. Namji Jun himself steps out, enters the fray and kills several Bansan men in just a few seconds. The scene cuts to the present. We see the Lee Jan group manager kidnapped and killed shortly after. As the issue comes to light, Lee Jan confronts his enemy, Bensan, and tells him, "I know you have nothing to do with this murder, but the problem is that your son, Jun-moo, orchestrated the murder." Bensan tells Lee Jan, "I don't want to get involved in all this fighting. You handle this matter your way. In return, I'll clear your real estate case for you." Lee Jan doesn't mind the deal either, and he assigns his special man, Namji Sak, to handle it. He goes straight to the assassin, the most dangerous men in Korea, whom Jun-soo had hired to carry out his work. Namji Sak threatens them, saying, "You only have 2 days. Leave Korea in 2 days. Otherwise, you'll face your own consequence. And remember, Jin-moo mustn't know about this." While this discussion is going on, Jun-moo himself arrives and says, "Hey, talk to me. Don't you have the courage?" Namji Sak turns to him and says, "Have some shame. Both companies have suffered the consequences of your actions before." This angers Jun-soo. When he moves to attack Namji Sak knocks him out with a single punch and walks away. From behind, Jun-moo continued to threaten, "You'll see, you'll die at my hands too." The scene cut to Namji Sak returning to his village. His brother, Namji Jun, was shocked to see him. They were seeing each other after 6 years and were overjoyed. Namji Jun discussed with his brother that his boss, Lee Jan, was forcing him to take over his business. He was confused about what to do. Namji Jun, too, wasn't feeling well about it. He didn't say anything and advised Sak to follow his heart. Namji Sak then returned home and began to sense that something was amiss in the parking lot. While he was fitting his kit, he saw people hiding behind cars. A masked man suddenly attacked Sak, whom Sak had already sensed. He realized that a large number of people had come to kill him. He fought them one by one, his fighting skills unmatched. He stooped down and slammed those who attacked him from behind. Sak knocked down the one who came to attack him with a knife and tried to stab him with his own knife. But then Sak lost his nerve and stood up. He was receiving a call from his brother, who was terrified. Before Sak could even answer the call, the boy whose life Sak had spared came up from behind and stabbed him in the heart, and Sak died. The scene shifts to Sak's funeral. At the funeral, Lee Jan, Sak's boss, and all his employees were present. While these people were talking, Namji Jun arrived, and at Lee Jan's request, everyone bowed their heads before him in grief and respect. A short while later, Namji Sak visits the 2 chairmen who were discussing who should be assigned to Sak's job. Namji Sak approaches them and questions them about his brother's death, reminding them that 11 years ago they had made an agreement. "I will stay out of your affairs, but you will protect my brother. Then tell me what happened to him." Neither of them had any answer. Namji Jun then goes to his brother's house and finds that his brother had prepared a birthday surprise for him. He becomes emotional and decides to confront his brother's killer. Going to the police station, Namji Jun questions the man repeatedly to find out who was behind Sak's death, but he doesn't say anything. And from his words, Namji Jun learns that the killer also has a younger brother. And then what happened? Namji Jun goes in search of her and captures her brother, and later uses him to blackmail the killer to give up his power. He demands that he reveal who was behind Sak's murder. He claims he doesn't know. He got the job from the dark web. The killer's lawyer, now named Ji-jun, meets him and asks about the murder. She gives him a business card belonging to a man who had created a dark site called Sim1, where people paid to hire killers. The lawyer says he'll get a lot of information from there. Meanwhile, Lee Jan, Sak's boss, had also privately launched an investigation into Sak's murder. An investigation into Sak's murder was also underway at the police station. Everyone knew the killer was someone from Bensan or Lee Jan's group. Their conversation reveals that Bensan and Lee Jan previously worked for the same gangster. The man left the underworld after his son's death, and since then, the two have risen to power and become enemies in the underworld. GM is tasked with investigating the case. Meanwhile, the man who operated the dark web from which Sak's murder was contracted, his killer was named Won. On hearing Namji Jun's call, he is shocked, and it becomes clear that he not only knew Namji Jun before beforehand, but also feared him. When he arrives at his office, he finds all his staff severely beaten, his office destroyed, and Namjoon already present. One falls at his feet and begins pleading, begging for his life. Namji Jun gets up and gives him a few punches, forcing him to spill the truth. He reveals that the one who hired Sak killer was Bunsan's son, Junmoo. Lee Jun also learned of this news. The investigator who was giving him this information told him that he should inform the company. Lee Jun, however, asked him to keep it secret from his own people. Unbeknownst to them, the GM, the police investigator, was working for Bunsan.
Was listening in on everything through a special device he had installed in Lee Jun's office. We then see Lee Jun immediately set up a meeting with Benson and reveal the truth. Your son orchestrated Namteek's murder. Benson flatly denied that he or his company had anything to do with the murder. While they were still discussing, Namji Jun arrived. He looked Benson squarely in the eye and asked, "Are you involved in this murder?" Both of them were startled by his gaze and remained silent. A nervous Bunsung replied, "No." Namji Jun then told him, "I know your son orchestrated this murder. If you're not involved, just sit back and watch." With that, he left. Bonsan, terrified, begs Lee Jun for help, offering him an entire hotel in return. Bonsan then goes home and personally beats his son Junmo because what he said in his childhood was unforgivable. Junmo shamelessly tells him, "Yes, I killed Namji Sok because he insulted me." Namji Jun then meets an old friend and asks for help. Namji Sok's assistant, also obsessed with avenging his boss, joins Namji Jun, and with the help of a lawyer, they discover Junmo's secret location, where Benson had hidden him. Meanwhile, a man named Young confronts Lee Jun, saying, "Benson didn't treat you well. He broke the agreement he made with you by killing your man. You both had a rule against harming each other's groups. Now the decision is yours. Either forgive him and write a date, or kill Benson in his stead and take over his entire business." At this point, it's revealed that police investigator Jium was listening in on all this. He stands in the building opposite and opens a file containing the Lee Jun search warrants. To strengthen his position and save his son's life, Benson orders a man to kill Namji Jun, but the man refuses because he knows Namji Jun's position. Hearing the man's refusal, Benson becomes confused and orders another man to take his son underground. But Junmo wasn't willing to hide anywhere else. He instead tells people, "They kill people every day. Why is there such a fuss over this man's murder?" During their conversation, Namji Jun arrives at the same hotel and everyone sees him. They panic and attack him together to stop him, but he easily defends himself by grabbing someone's leg or arm, then breaking their legs and arms and throwing them away. One by one, everyone is killed, and in the process, Bonsan's men escape with Junno. Namji has also found Ven, who is trying unsuccessfully to hide from him. Namji Jun tells him, "Only 2 days. You have 2 days. Jun's location must be on my desk." The scene's cut. We are now shown Junnu inside the safe house, genuinely distraught. He questions one of his men, "Are these two brothers? And why is everyone so afraid of them?" To explain this, the story flashes back 11 years to the past. Benson and Lee Jun both worked for the same man. Their boss held a high regard for both of them. Lee Jun-nun, who had come to help his brother get a job, one day helps them in a fight, and thus becomes Benson and Lee Jun's right-hand man. During this time, rumors begin to spread within the company that the chairman will give the company to Lee Jun-won and Benson instead of his son. This news enrages the chairman's son, and he plans to have them both killed. Namji Jun learns of this plan, and to save their lives, murders the chairman's son. Seeing this, Lee Juan and Benson are terrified. They knew the chairman would have them killed along with Namji Jun, so Benson tells Namji Jun to kill the chairman before all three of them die. Following his advice, Namji Jun kills the chairman as well. Now, if he wanted, he could have taken over the entire company, but instead of taking over the company, he splits it in half between the two and makes an agreement with them that he will never interfere in their lives. In return, they will take care of his brother and protect him forever, and the two groups will never harm each other. After this agreement, it's revealed that Namji Jun had gone underground. The boy telling Junmo this story explains he learned from a close associate of the former chairman that Namji Jun actually didn't kill the chairman's son. Now what's the twist? Even he didn't know this. Here, Benson reveals the identity of the investigator of Namji Sok's murder.
Another of Benson's close associates, whom Benson had ordered to hide Junmu, meets with Namji Jun and tells him that he shouldn't harm Namji Jun's entire group. During their conversation, he secretly slips a key to Namji Jun, which contains Junmu's address. Namji Jun then goes to the address to kill Junmu, only to discover it was a trap set by Junmu himself. Junmu himself had instructed his special agent to do this because he felt that killing Namji Jun would be the ultimate freedom for him. He was no longer able to hide and had tried to escape escaped from his safe house several times but failed. Let's return to Namji Jun's scene. Assassins attack him as soon as he enters the secret location. Defeating and killing Namji Jun wasn't easy. Namji Jun fights them and kills them. Then, using Junmu's phone, he calls Junmu, saying, "I'll reach you soon." Hearing this call, Junmu panicked. Meanwhile, Namji Jun is lost in his memories, and through his flashback, we learn a twist. It wasn't Namji Jun who actually killed the chairman's son, but Namji Sak. The scenes return to the present, and we see Benson call the same Yang Nami who was inciting Lee Jun to fight Benson a few scenes ago. Who this man really is will be revealed later. However, Benson tells him that he has made a deal with Lee Jun. Ginny believes there will be no more war between the two groups. The only remaining issue is Namji Jun. Benson tells the gang that it would be best if they handled this matter. Meanwhile, a group of men attack the safe house where Benson's son is. It turns out that Junmu himself had called them to attack the house because he wanted to be free. Among those who attacked the safe house was a championship fighter. Junmu offers him 1 billion yuan to kill Namji Jun. We see Junmu having his wounds bandaged. Just then, his friend calls him and tells him to stop all this fighting. He should sit down and have a meeting with these groups. He's just reached his garage while chatting when he sees Junmu already waiting for him with his fighters. As soon as he arrives, Junmu tells him, "I just want to know Namji's whereabouts from you. Nothing more. If you tell me, you'll be spared. Otherwise, you'll be responsible for your own fate." The man becomes enraged and picks up a bat and starts fighting with them. Junmu's special man fights him, and in the process, Namji Jun's friend defeats Junmu's special man. Then Junmu himself enters the fray. Picking up the bat, he swings it and hits Namji Jun's friend, causing him to fall to the ground. His head was bleeding and he was unconscious. When Namji Jun called his friend again, Junmu answered the call. Junmu told him that his friend and a key man of his were killed here. Their fight is over, but our fight remains. So why don't you come to the safe house? Junmu was giving him the address of the safe house because he had already hired fighters to kill Namji. Namji Jun first arrives at his friend's garage and is devastated by the sight of his friend's body. There he also finds a baseball bat his friend had made for him. He angrily picks up this bat and leaves. A scene is shown of the safe house where not one, not two, but nearly 100 fighters were present. Junmu tells them that whoever captures Namji Jun alive will be rewarded with billions of yuan, a lot of money. Shortly after, Namji Jun enters the scene. Seeing so many people in front of him, he thinks for a moment, and as they begin attacking him one by one, he begins to defeat them all with his skills. He hits someone on the head with a bat, breaks another's limbs, and when someone tries to attack him, he stabs them in the neck with his knife, killing them. Another man attacks from there, brutally crushing their face against the wall. Seeing so many people die so brutally, the survivors flee in fear, and the fighter whom Junmu had specially hired to kill Namji Jun arrives. Seeing all this, he tells Junmu that he will now charge double the amount for killing Namji Jun as he is so skilled. Finally, Namji Jun enters, where he faces a real fighter. This fighter truly matches Junmu's ability. Junmu, whose strength has been significantly diminished by previous fights, overpowers this man, this fighter. The fight continues for a long time, and when Namji Jun realizes he can't fight him anymore, he breaks the steering case, takes the glass from his hand, and stabs the boy in the eye, thus defeating him. After which, he finally confronts Junmu. Junmu, frightened, held his gun with trembling hands. He wanted to kill him, but Namji Jun knocked the gun out of his hands with a single blow. Junmu's breath is drained from him, and he begins begging for his life. He tells him, "Look, even if you kill me, nothing will change. Your brother is already dead. My death won't bring him back to life." Jun doesn't respond to him and hits him with the bed nearby so hard that Junmu falls over the railing and dies instantly. After killing him, Namji Jun calls his father, Benson. Upon receiving the call, Benson begins to say, "Look, it wasn't my son who killed your brother." Before he can finish, Namji Jun interrupts him, saying, "There's no point now, because your son is dead too." With this, he hangs up, remembering his brother, who last told him, "We'll see you more often." Namji Jun then leaves in his car, and in the next scene, we see his car involved in an accident. The accident sends his car plunging off a bridge into the river. It's revealed that this accident was also deliberately orchestrated, as the man gets out of the car and calls someone on the phone, informing them that Namji Jun has been killed. The scenes go into flashback, and we're shown the scene when Namji Sok was on top of the bridge. The attack was carried out by several teenagers. The boy who stabbed him in the waist was shown that he had not killed Namji Sok.
Sok had endured the attack and removed the knife from his own shoulder. However, as he was leaving the elevator, a masked man emerged. He engaged in a fight with Namji Sok and eventually overpowered Namji Sok, stabbing him in the neck.
Detective Han was also present at the time, witnessing the entire incident. Nevertheless, the police report stated that Namji Sak was killed by the boys. It is said that Detective Han told Benson all this. Detective Han also played Benson a recording of the man who ordered the murder cover-up, and Benson immediately recognized the voice. It was Lee Ju-won's voice. Well, in the next scene, we see Lee Ju-won and Benson at the scene of Namji Jung's car accident. Here, Benson shamelessly admits to Lee Jun that he had Namji Jun killed because he had killed his son just yesterday. "You can't sue me for this because I know a secret of yours," he said. "My son did send thugs to kill Namji Sak, but Namji Sak died not at the hands of my son's thugs, but at the hands of someone you sent, and I have evidence against you." Now that Benson's son had died due to this misunderstanding, Benson was furious and ready to fight Lee Jun. He told him, "If my son is dead, your son will die too." In the next scene, we see the police arrest the entire Benson group. However, Deputy Prosecutor Jim is enraged that the police didn't arrest Benson himself. It's revealed that Jim, the deputy prosecutor, is none other than Lee Jun himself. He wants to not only take over his father's business, but also take over the Benson group, and this entire plan was somehow orchestrated by him. Meanwhile, we see Lee Jun meet Yang and tell him, "I know you're the one who killed Namji Sak, and then you bribed Detective Han and had him framed for the murder." He asks him, "Why did you need to kill Namji Sak?" Yang replies, "How can you accuse me? Do you have proof that I killed Namji Sak? Maybe your son Jim had him killed." The scenes cut to a new beginning. We're shown Ji-jun, who didn't actually die after falling into the river, but survived. He first goes to meet his brother's assistant and gives him his brother's important belonging. Meanwhile, Won and his companions were discussing the possibility that Namji Jun had died, and peace would be restored. But then, Namji Jun arrived, making it difficult for them to even eat. Angrily, Namji Jun demanded that they find out who had orchestrated the attack on him. Meanwhile, at home, Lee Ju-won confronted his son Jim, asking if he had Namji Sak killed and why he was capturing the Benson group. Jim bluntly retorted to his father, saying, "Neither did I have Namji Sak killed, nor was it an official order to capture the Benson group, and I was simply doing my job." Benson, thinking that Lee Ju-won was the one who would capture his group through his son, went to Lee Ju-won's garage hoping for a fight. Now he was running out of men. When Lee Ju-won and Benson met, they fought, and Lee Ju-won murdered Benson. On the other hand, we see that Yang was the one most pleased to hear the news of Benson's murder. It turns out that Yang incited Benson against Lee Jun to provoke a fight and kill one of them. Yang now reveals that he wanted to take over the company of one of the two, and now that Bonson is dead, Bonson's company will become Yang. We see that there were 3 names on Yang's softboard: Namsan, Bonson, and Lee Jun, and he was now crossing off the second name. It's revealed that Yang had planned all these murders, but he was so clever that he had his plans executed through other people and achieved his goal. 2 people were dead, and now he just had to kill Lee Jun. We learn that the gang also knows the truth that Namji Jun did not kill the chairman's son. We also learn about the gang's past, that the gang was actually a police officer, and Chairman Oh, the chairman of Benson and Lee Jun, had him hired to cover up his crime. He knew that Namji Sak was the one who killed the chairman's son. Initially, he simply did his job, covering up the crimes of Benson and Lee Jun. But the money he earned from this work no longer satisfied his lust. So years later, he decided to take over their companies and earn all the money himself. When he initially tried to instigate a rift between Benson and Young, his efforts failed every time. Instead, his efforts only improved the relationship between Benson and Lee Jun. Yang then goes to see Jim and tells him, "Benson is dead. Think about your dad. What should I do with him?" The twist is that the two were in cahoots. Here, outside the police station, Namji Jun arrives to attack the gang, but the gang is saved by a criminal who was already an enemy of Namji Jun. The scene cuts to the next morning. As Lee Jun prepares for the company's board meeting, Jim stops him from leaving and announces that he will be taking charge of the company from now on. Lee Jun is surprised and asks, "How?" Jim tells him, "You fired me from that company, but I saw my life in that business, and that power. That's why I went to the police. After securing my company's records, I monitored the company's situation with Yang, and I can run it better than you." Saying this, he walks into the company's board meeting and informs everyone that he's the new chairman.
Many board members try to leave, but Jim's growling voice forces everyone back down. Meanwhile, Gang fears for his life from Namji Jun, who has learned that he was the one who introduced him to his brother. Consequently, Namji Jun's enemy, who had saved Young the previous night, hires him as his driver and security guard. At Namji Jun's behest, one's men relentlessly pursue Young and inform him of his location. When Namji Jun arrives at his building to kill him, he encounters his own enemy. It turns out that Namji Jun had cut off his hand 11 years ago, leading to a very difficult life. He tells him, "You could have killed me that day instead of cutting off my hand, but today I will take revenge for all the torture you inflicted on me." He begins to fight Namji Jun with his broken hand, and when he finally fails to defeat him, he stabs himself with a knife in a fit of rage. It was shown that Young had arrived at Lee Jung's house to kill Lee Jung. This led to a fight between Lee Jung and Young, who pushed Lee Jung away and ultimately shot him to death. Unfortunately for Namji Jun, he arrived at the murder scene just in time for the police to arrive, and Namji Jun was arrested for Lee Jung's murder. Young was quite clever. He also sneaked out of the police uniform and later appeared unaware. Furthermore, it was shown that Jim listened to every detail of his father's murder through a recorder in his room, and he felt no sorrow for his father's death. Instead, he orchestrated his own death. While Namji Jun was at the police station, Young approached him, laughing and mocking him, saying, "Look what a terrible thing happened to you. You didn't find anything, and your brother is gone. You know I was the one who planned to kill him." We then see Namji Jun being taken away in a car. The car passes through a tunnel, and as the tunnel closes behind him, Namji Jun realizes something is flying there. This was actually a plan to kill him. Upon realizing this, Namji Jun starts fighting with everyone and causes the car to crash, fleeing. Just then, another car pulls up in front of him. He emerges from inside. He hands Namji Jun some important items and tells him to get away. "I will spread the news of your death everywhere, and after a while, I will also leave Korea because I am tired of this." Meanwhile, the police have learned of Young's misdeeds and raid his office. Meanwhile, Jim is in a car. He meets the assassin. It's revealed that Young and Jim had actually used this assassin to kill Namji Sak. Jim then gives him a new identity and says, "If you kill Young, I'll have all charges against you dropped." A flashback shows Jim warning Young that a police investigation was underway against him. He told him, "I can stop this investigation if you help me." The twist is, the plan we've been thinking of as Young's for the past half season was actually Jim's. He wanted Lee Won and Bong Sung to meet and then kill Namji Sak, blaming Junwoo for his murder. Since Namji Sak was Lee Won's associate, this could spark a gang war between the two gangs. Young wasn't so foolish. He recorded the entire conversation and stored it on a USB stick. Young secretly delivers this USB to Jim, letting him know that if he gets caught, Jim will also be caught. We then see Lee Jung's funeral, where a political conspiracy was at play and a plan was underway to conceal everything. A member of Jim's staff was carrying the golf club package containing the USB, but then Namji Jun attacks him. He easily kills the man holding the bag, but then the same assassin who killed Namji Sak arrived. As he reveals this to Namji Jun becomes enraged and in a fit of rage easily kills him. The gang, watching all this on CCTV, entered the basement and immediately fired 2 shots at him. Despite being wounded, Namji Jun fought back, ultimately killing him with a single step. Even after this, when he was still not satisfied, he fired 2 shots at Young. After this, we see Namji Jun visit Lee Jun's fundraiser. He pays respects and tells Jim that they will definitely meet again. With this, he leaves. Inside, Jim is shown meeting with his deputy prosecutor. He offers to take over the Bong Sun group while he manages the Lee Jun group. This way, they will make a lot of money together. They are on their own within the police and no one will be able to catch them. During their plan, we see Namji meet with Namji Sak's assistant. He gives the assistant the USP he stole from Young's golf pack, which contained evidence against everyone. After giving this USP, he returns to his village. Meanwhile, it is shown that the Bong Sun and Lee Jun companies have emerged under under a new name. The leader, none other than Jim, delivers his first speech, declaring that every illegal act can be made legal. We will bring a new culture to this company and take it to new heights of progress. Everything seemed perfect, but no one knew what was about to happen. Namji Sak's assistant gives the USB stick containing the evidence to the lawyer, who, through a journalist, circulates it in the media and on social media. The news spreads rapidly, and everyone who attended the company meeting begins to leave. The deputy prosecutor also becomes angry with Jim, leading him to murder him in a fit of rage. Seeing this, Jim's special assistant asks him to go underground until he clears the air. Meanwhile, Namji Jun arrives. Jim's special assistant tells Namji Jun, "I know you've come to meet Jim. Let me take you to him." Saying this, he pushed Namji Jun forward and then stepped back, stepping on him. Namji Jun staggered into Jim's office. Jim welcomed him and told him, "Today I've won. Everything is in my hand. Power, advancement, but now none of this seems to have any value, even though I loved winning so much." Saying this, he raised his gun to kill himself, but Namji Jun snatched the gun from his hand and cut the veins in his hands with a knife so that he wouldn't have a comfortable death. He died in agony. The scene cuts to Namji Jun in his village at the same campsite where he was sitting with his brother, Namji Sak, at the beginning of the movie. He dies remembering his brother, and the season ends with his death and the devastation of everyone.